Don't get sore, 'cause I very seldom take a drink.
What's up, everybody? I'm Rick.
And I'm Anna.
And today we continue our quest to review 101 years of Best Picture Academy Award nominated and winning movies. We're at year 2. We're starting year 2, and the first movie in year 2 that we're going to review is Alibi. So the way this review works, the first part is going to be spoiler free, so anyone who hasn't seen this almost 100-year-old movie, don't worry, we're not going to spoil it in the first part. Second part of the review is going to be filled with spoilers, and we'll discuss more in details what we thought about the movie. First, I'd like to start with just a few facts about the movie. So, the movie is based on a 1927 Broadway play called Nightsticks. And this is a thing that I've seen in a few of these movies that we've watched, is that they are all based on plays. Broadway plays, a lot of them.
I think that was their inspiration at the time.
Yeah.
Now they base movies on older movies.
Or on comic books. And the movie is directed by Roland West. West, and I'm sure we're going to go deeper into it into a review, experimented a lot with this because he experimented with sound, music, editing, camera angles, and I'm sure you have a lot of things to say about some of these experiments.
I do, yes, but it is worth to mention that this is one of the OG voice recorded movies.
Yeah, so
and it is the first one on our list.
Out of those that we've been watching, this is the first movie with actually voice acting, which is interesting. Movie stars Chester Morris as Chick Williams, the main, I'd say the main character probably, yeah. Maya Bush as Daisy Thomas, one of the lead actresses, and Reggie Tooney as Danny McGann. One of the interesting to note too is that Chester Morris was nominated for his performance here. Nominated at the Academy Award for Best Actor.
For Best Actor?
Yes, for this movie. I don't know if you agree or not.
I did not know that.
Yeah. And movie came out April 20th, 1929. So first, I'd like to go into a quick summary of the movie, spoiler free, just to remind people what it was about, remind ourselves what it was about, because it's been a few days since we watched it. Story of Chick Williams, a young man, gets out of jail and finds a girlfriend, go back to his old friends, and then suddenly, during a robbery a certain night, a cop is murdered. And the other cops, those that are not killed, are trying to pin the murder on Chick Williams. Did he do it? Did he not do it? Does his alibi checks out? That's the name of the movie. Off the top of your head, what did you think of the movie?
I have to say, I was not very impressed with it.
No?
No. Unfortunately not. I will say it was a good idea, maybe not so well executed. And I'm not talking about it just being an old movie, because I think we've already watched a few old movies, and, you know, we take into consideration the possibilities at the time. But just the way the story was told was not very impressive to me. The characters were... Sometimes they seemed interesting, some characters seemed interesting, but then turned out that they're not that deep or interesting as I thought they would be.
A lot of surface level characters, I have to say. Like,
yes.
One-dimensional, a lot of them are.
And I did think for a moment, that there's actually more to that character than it seems at first, and you're waiting to find out what's beyond what you see at first, but then you realize there's really nothing beyond. That's
what you see is what you get.
Yeah, exactly.
And I might say it's the same with the acting, you know? There's no like deeper level of the, like, a lot of the acting I was laughing at scenes that I knew I'm not supposed to laugh at. And that's not only an acting problem, it's also a writing problem. But
you did say that maybe I would not agree with the actor being nominated for Best Actor Academy Award, but I have to say, of all of them, I feel like he was the best.
Chester Morris was by far the best one in this movie.
Yes. That doesn't mean he was great, but he was definitely the best.
But I'm not talking about Chester Morris. I'm looking at particularly there's a scene with Regis Toomey that we're going to talk about later that I was laughing, and I'm not sure I was supposed to be laughing at that scene, not only the acting but the whole scene in general. And that's the issue with that movie, is that a lot of time you can tell I see what you're trying to do here, but no, it doesn't work.
It doesn't work, exactly.
Maybe it doesn't work because you're the first ones trying to do it, playing with sound and recording voices live. But I don't know. For the first time out of all these movies that we're watching, this is the first time I thought to myself, wow, this movie has not aged well. This shows that it's an old movie and it's not in its favor. So I think we're in agreement here that not the best out of the bunch. I'm curious to see what the other movies nominated that year will look like, but as of yet, not a great start.
I'm really curious to see if the other movies are like this, then you can say that maybe it's because it was the dawn of voice acting movies.
Yeah.
So they didn't really know how to do it better than that.
Mm-hmm.
But if the others are better, then you can blame it on
there might have been a problem with this movie in particular.
Yes.
So these are our top level thoughts. Now we're gonna go into deeper spoiler level conversation. So if you wanna save that movie that you for some reason haven't watched yet, but still you wanna see it, you can leave now and come back for our next video. But if you wanna learn more, then stay right here as we go into spoiler discussion. First of all, I was dancing around it earlier. I want to talk about that death scene.
The death scene.
The death scene.
And it's interesting that we want to start with actually something that happens pretty much at the end of the movie.
Yeah, towards the end of the movie, 3/4 through the movie.
Because I feel like that scene really summarizes what this movie was about. It's just...
So the scene of...
good idea, poor execution.
Yeah. Reggie Toomey, who's the undercover cop, Danny McGann, dying after being shot by Morris's character, Chicks Williams, and he's dying in the arms of two other cops.
One of him, we understand, during the movie was his mentor and really cared for him.
The whole scene, I was laughing so much.
If you've ever seen a death scene being dragged forever, that would be it.
Oh yeah, every time you think, oh, this is the end, he's dead, and no, he's not dead. He's still alive.
His eyes.
He opens his eyes.
Says a few more words,
and he looks around.
And that's what they tried to do. The character's final words, because his death was supposed to be the moment, the heavy moment of the movie, where really everything comes down. The whole story just unfolds, and they gave his character this scene to tell his final words, and you see that being done in movies today, a character dying and someone being there and hearing what that character has to say in his final moments. But now they learn to summarize that in one sentence, or sometimes even one word that carries so much weight. Whereas this character,
straight to the heart, the most important thing, you say it and those are your final words. Or maybe sometimes there are no final words and you just die. And the moment is poignant, even though maybe in real life it takes longer for people to die. But this is a movie.
Yes.
And we were watching him die for what seemed like an eternity.
And every time he seemed he was dead, he would open his eyes again and say something else.
Yeah, exactly.
His speech would drag on, and I was thinking towards the end, be aren't you gonna die already? Isn't this what this is about?
Yeah. And that was the heavy moment. You're supposed to then root for the cops to finally catch Morris, and bring him to justice. Because, spoiler 2, he was the one who killed the cop in that robbery. But because of the difference in acting chops, because I feel like Morris was much better than anyone else, I was rooting for him. I was like, oh, this guy is much more interesting.
Let's hope he gets away.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's hope they make a sequel with him.
Right? And not only because he was better acted, but also as a character, I feel like
he was the only character that actually did have that layered storyline.
Because he was trying to act like he wasn't a crook, or wasn't a criminal towards his girlfriend.
And for the better part of the movie, you're actually wondering, is he or is he not really
is he not the one
guy?
who did it? Yeah. And he's trying to lie to his girlfriend. He has this alibi. But at the same time, you see from the other side that, no, he's a criminal. He's the one who did it. And so this dual life that he's trying to keep is kind of interesting. On the other side, the cops, like totally crooked. They like forced some poor guy to, poor guy is also a criminal, but to
confess, yes, a forced, coerced confession.
Confession, yeah.
I think you would call
through
it.
threats, you know, like we're gonna kill you if you don't say anything.
Yes. And then the main female character, was just so disappointing because for a part of the movie where she interacts with her father, she seems to be like this strong-willed, independent woman, which is it's always interesting to see this in old movies, these kind of female characters. But then when you see her acting with her boyfriend/husband, you realize that she's just a naive girl.
And we're talking about Joan Manning here. Joan Manning Williams, the character, which is played by Eleanor Griffith. And I think your point stands even more when you think about movies like The Racket, in which the female character was very strong. Another criminal movie, crime movie. But the female character in that movie was very strong. And in this one, she makes some decision. And you're like,
and you could have made her character like that. You could have made her like the naive, innocent girl. But when you try to portray her as a strong female in the beginning, and then like during the movie she turns it into this like foolish girl. It's really there's not, characters are usually supposed to take the other path, right? Like be foolish at first and then grow.
And I think like there were like opportunities there with her character to have her maybe, like be so in love with this guy that she'd be more conflicted than that. Because when she realized that he's really a criminal, she turns like right away. She
turns around on him, like right away.
But you got married. I thought you loved him more than that. Like a little second of hesitation before you snitch him to your father or to the rest of the cops,
Right.
But no, she turns right away, which to some people might be understandable. But like I wanted a bit more out of her. Any other comments?
Yes, we kind of start from the end. I do want to talk about the beginning, though. In the beginning, when right after the shooting happens, and the police is trying to find out who did it, and we are presented with the main male character with the Chick.
Yeah, Chick Morris.
Chester
Morris is Chick Williams.
Chick Williams, yes. Yeah. We get the hints that he is the one who did it, or at least that he was involved with it, with the shooting. But at the same time, he's trying to, he has an alibi.
Yeah.
He's trying to prove that he didn't do it. And for a little while there, you actually don't know for sure until he reveals by talking to his associates about the crime. And I really like that I feel like that was the only moment when the movie as a whole surprised me, because for a while I did think that it was going to be that type of a movie where like the cops are trying to pin a murder of cops on someone innocent just because he was in jail before.
And because he was dating the surgeon's daughter, and the surgeon didn't like that.
Yes.
And so
I thought, it seemed like it would be that, but then it turns out that he actually is the bad guy. And for a second there I was like, oh my god, this is such a twist, such a
twist on the twist.
Yes, exactly. But that was pretty much it. That was the only part that I actually really enjoyed about this movie.
And which I think would be my closing word is that this movie had so much, like when you look at it on paper, and it has much more potential, but it was unrealized, you know.
Even as the story unfolded, there were so many like moments when they could have just made better decisions with their storyline, but just didn't really.
Yeah. And so to close it, can you tell us once again, did you like or did not like the movie?
I have to say, for the first time in this series, we're not even that far in.
Yeah.
No, not really. I did not enjoy this movie.
I got a good laugh out of it, but I wouldn't say it's a good movie. So that was our review of Alibi, 1929 movie. This is the first movie of the 1928-1929 Academy Award year. We're gonna keep going next time with another movie from that year. See you on the next video.